Greetings, viewers. Today I'm narrating the first story of author Sri Ganesan, published in Anandha Vikatan in May 1988. The original story is in Tamil. Sri Ganesan's stories are very positive and uplifting. With this permission, I have translated his stories into English and I'm presenting them. So here is the first story. The title is A Sage for the Society, but. Repeating, a sage for the society, but. Now the story starts. It is 4 days since the doctor had pronounced with a helpless shrug, tough to survive even for 2 days. Amma's health steadily deteriorated, but she did not pass away as the doctor predicted. Whenever she came to consciousness, she was disappointed after searching relentlessly for someone amongst those present around her. Looking at her, the doctor opined that an unusual mental faculty beyond the comprehension of medical science was retaining her life. He took aside Vedachalam and asked, "Advocate, sir, I feel as though your mother is still waiting for someone. Is there anyone who is not here, who is yet to come?" Vedachalam did not respond. About 25 years back, on a Saturday, his younger brother Radhakrishnan had left behind a brief note and just disappeared. "I'm going in quest of knowledge. I'm breaking free from all relationships. Please do not search for me." For a long, long time, Vedachalam and his father went on struggling and searching for Radhakrishnan in vain and finally got fed up and gave up. Amma, in the beginning, did not eat any food for several days. Appa somehow consoled her and convinced her and made her eat. However, from that day, she gave up the fasting. She observed fast every Saturday morning with the prayer, "My younger son, wherever he is, should be fine." After many years, magazines started publishing discourses of a sage called Radhananda on Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. Several books carried his photographs and complimented the clarity of his knowledge. He became the talk of the town. People marveled at his simplicity and detachment from fame and ostentatiousness. When Amma heard others singing praise of her son, she felt prouder than she did while she had given birth to him. It was evident. When Radhananda came to town to deliver discourse, Vedachalam and his father went to see Radhananda without informing Amma. The entire hall was crammed with people. Radhananda was giving his discourse. When the sage addressed the gathering using relevant quotes from Vedas, Bible, and Quran, just like other sages, Vedachalam and his father got goosebumps. All the others went to meet him and paid their obeisance. The father, who came to meet his son, did not see his son. He saw God. Both of them, father and Vedachalam, also paid their obeisance like the others did and returned home. The face of the sage was calm and expressionless when he looked at them. Looking at that dispassionate, calm face with not even a trace of old memories, the father realized that the old relationship is ripped off forever. After returning home, Appa gently broke the news of our meeting with Radhananda to Amma. Is he all fine? There was a lot of curiosity in her voice. Appa, who had begun to consider Radhananda as sage Radhananda already, began to feel awkward at the intimacy with which she addressed him. Rajan, due to the penances you must have done in many of your earlier births, a sage must have had his origins in your womb. You must have done a lot of punya karma. That is good deed. However, today he's not only a sage, he is somebody respected by everybody. And I think he is not anymore your son. When I saw him and listened to him, I felt at the core of my being that we do not deserve to say he is our son. This is a true sage, not a pretentious one. This is not our son. He is Veda incarnate. You better accept in your heart of hearts that your younger son died several years back. Amma became a bundle of nerves. You call him a sage? Veda incarnate? I accept that. A mother's heart swells in pride. But don't ever tell me that he is not my son. I cannot bear that. He may be a sage for the society, but isn't he my son for me? Do you feel you're justified in telling me to assume that my son is no more when he's very much alive? Though Appa tried to persuade her a lot, Amma refused to consider his point of view. Appa told her very firmly, as long as in your thoughts you consider him your son, you cannot go to meet him. Amma followed it. When Appa passed away, Vedachalam wrote a letter to Radhananda for the sake of formality to convey the information. There was not even a response. Vedachalam assumed that Amma has almost forgotten her younger son. But now it was clearly evident to him when she is in her deathbed that Amma's life is hanging on a thread just to have a glimpse of her younger son who has become a saint. Vedachalam stood up with a firm decision. Vedachalam went to the temple. He was quietly waiting even after all the devotees had left after the puja. Radhananda looked at him with questioning eyes. Advocate Vedachalam, who could silence everyone with his eloquence at the court, was now tongue-tied. With great difficulty, he managed to say, Amma is about to die. Radhananda responded calmly. Death is human reality. I have accepted you as a sage, but Amma is not able to accept that. We have tried a lot to persuade her, but she is not able to understand that. Tears were flowing down Vedachalam's cheeks. He continued, right from that Saturday, her son left home. She has been fasting every Saturday morning with the prayer that wherever her son is, he should be well off. Even on her deathbed, she is often fondling those photographs she has safely kept in an envelope. He could not talk anymore. With a lump in his throat, he extended the envelope. Radhananda took out every picture from the envelope. Instead of his own picture, he saw the picture of an aged mother eagerly waiting for her son. After calmly looking at them, he looked up. Vedachalam said, "Doctor's deadline was over 2 days back. Amma's unfulfilled desire, lingering for years and years, is the only reason that is holding her back. Must be. If possible, just only once." He hesitated to complete. Amma, for Amma, it was as though electricity passed through her from head to toe. When she opened her eyes, she saw her younger son in saffron clothes. Her face began to glow in joy. In an instant, her eyes filled with tears. Radhananda sat next to her. Amma asked, "Are you doing well?" He nodded. Overwhelmed for a long time, Amma could not speak. She held his hands tightly. "All these people are telling me there is no relationship now between you and me. You are not my son, it seems. My son passed away 25 years back, it seems. They expect me to refer to you with respect as though you are a third person." She sobbed, holding his hands. "They are talking out of ignorance, Amma. Aren't you today also my child?" "Yes, Amma, I am your child only. Certainly." Amma smiled happily, like a triumphant child exulting in her victory over several competitors at a stiff competition. Her life departed peacefully while she was holding on to his hands and listening to the Gita slokas Radhananda was murmuring. When the sage stepped out, he was misty-eyed. Misty-eyed.